let's take a look at the Windows 10 shell in Blackboard. So I'm going to scroll down and click on the master shell. It's in here somewhere. There it is, Windows 10 with MindTap Master. And we'll look at the Blackboard shell. Is pretty straightforward, right? It's our same old setup that we use for every software class, which is great because then it's consistent. And I'll advance through to MindTap so we can take a look at how the content is arranged there. Okay, so for MindTap, it's a little bit different than what we use for My IT Lab. In the Blackboard shell for Windows 10, the MindTap links go directly to each assignment. So for example, I'm just going to click on Module 1 and we'll take a look here. In addition to using MindTap though, you've probably already seen that I've incorporated mostly, I think just Blackboard discussion board activities as a way for keeping that cohort relationship, getting the students to engage with one another and to engage with us, the instructors. So you'll see discussion board posts as well, in addition to the MindTap stuff. We want to make sure that the students stay centered in Blackboard as our system for the class. MindTap is just sort of like the add-on to that system. Okay, so here you can see we've got generally 3 assignments per chapter, well, 4, including the discussion board, and every one of these links points directly to the activity they have to complete in MindTap. So I'm just going to click on the first one, and as I'm doing that, yeah, I was thinking in my head, because I'm in the master shell, I don't have a new course attached. I don't have a MindTap course attached to the Blackboard master shell. So when you create your course in Blackboard, you'll create your Blackboard shell, and those links to MindTap will be in there. Click any one of those links and it'll take you to this window where it'll say, hey, there's no existing MindTap course, you have to create one. You'll probably have to log in too and then get to this screen. But that's what you'll want to do, is you'll want to say create new MindTap course so that your own Blackboard shell is attached to your own MindTap shell as well. Because if I can't do that in the master, because if I did, then we would all get dumped into the same MindTap course, and then that's just too confusing for students and instructors and the whole kit and caboodle. So, okay, so let me know if you have any questions about the Blackboard shell. I'm pretty sure that's straightforward. You know the ropes for this. I'm going to go to my spring section of Win 10 just so I can show you the MindTap stuff. Okay, there's that link. I'm going to advance on. All right, and then I'm going to click on assignments, and I'm just going to go to Module 1 just as an example. They don't call them chapters, they call them modules, right? Got to make it different. And then I'm just going to advance down to one of the links. Anytime you see the Cengage circle, that's a link to go to MindTap. All right, so I'm just going to do the first one. And as I was saying before then, those individual links take us to individual activities. So you'll see here in this window, it takes this, oh, well, maybe that wasn't the best example because I've already been in here playing around. But for the student, they'll go right to that activity and they'll see a window in MindTap that just says start, and it'll start the activity. I've already been in here. So I just want to answer a couple of other questions that you had for me. When you advance to MindTap, actually, let me see if I can force it to happen. I'm going to go down to like the SAM training and see if I can force that window for that particular activity. Oh yeah, this one's going to work. Okay, so here, so right, it goes straight to this activity. It's going to take the student right to the same training that they then have to complete. So for you as an instructor, you don't need to complete the, well, after you've practiced, then when you're ready, just click the X. And in fact, the student can do this too. If they're thinking to themselves, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm not ready to complete this assignment, I want to go back and look at the chapter, they could just click the X and it takes them back to here. These, on the left-hand side, it represents every one of the chapters, right? They're called modules, but they're chapters. And so we've got like chapter 1, module 1. I'm just going to click on it to see all of the things inside of it that I can do to prepare myself for the actual graded assignment. Now, you and I as instructors have access to a lot more than what our student sees. I have lots of things hidden in here that you can turn on or off, right? You have that academic freedom to use whatever activities you want, to set up any learning experiences that you want. But within here then, I'm going to click again on Module 1. Oh, sorry, no, in Module 1, I am going to click on, I have to remember, this learning activity. The learning activity then will take me to the chapter. This is why the student doesn't need to buy the book. You had asked about buying the physical book. They don't need it. They could just read it right here in MindTap. Now, you know and I know some of our students don't like that. They want the actual physical book because they want to mark it up and make notes, which is great. Let them. They can buy it at the bookstore or from Amazon or rent it from Chegg, whatever they want to do. But if they don't want to buy the book, it's available in MindTap. Okay, so I'm done reading the chapter. I'm going to click my little X. Back I go to all of the chapters. Underneath the chapter, the pages are then the assignments that they have to complete. Here in chapter 1, they have to do a SAM training, which has them actually go into a simulated environment for Win 10. And then the SAM exam has them apply those skills without any helps or prompts or those little like videos, things, those little additional things to help their learning process. The exam doesn't have that, the training does. And while we're here, I just want to mention one other thing that we hear a lot. It's getting more and more common that people say to me, hey, if your students are using MindTap, why do they need you as an instructor, right? We've heard this for ages. And it's always a great opportunity when someone says that to you to remind them of why MindTap doesn't replace the instructor. It's in addition to the instructor, but it's not replacing what we do. MindTap is like this one-track path to presenting the material so a student learns it and then gets tested on it. As an instructor, we're that human face to the material. We always have students who need more, they need a deeper understanding of the material. They have more questions. They don't understand maybe the lingo or the way it's presented. And so we're here to help with all of that translation and understanding and facilitation. Right? That's what we're needed for as an instructor. So MindTap doesn't replace us. It's just in addition to, it's another tool like we've always used, a chalkboard to help us learn or whatever. So that's my little pitch. You know all of that stuff. The grade book, we as instructors can also see the grade book here in MindTap. All of that is automatically synced with your Blackboard site, the gradebook here in the Blackboard site. Again, we're maintaining that Blackboard is our course's central home, like all of the courses at the college. So their grades will be automatically dumped into their Blackboard Grade Center. We always want the students to use Blackboard. And in fact, before I forget, you'll have to remind your students that they should always advance to MindTap through Blackboard. They always have to go through Blackboard. Don't let them go around Blackboard because then it interrupts all of this syncing and all of this college-y kind of stuff that we want to happen. Okay, I think that was it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to Skype or email you.